You're listening to Off the Vine with Kaitlyn Bristowe.
Okay, look at the camera. Say, hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody.
I'm Kat Campbell.
I'm Kat Campbell.
Welcome to Off the Vine.
Welcome to Off the Vine.
Today, we are asking Kaitlyn some really uncomfy questions.
Today, I am going to ask Kaitlyn some really uncomfortable questions I polled the crowd, and also I had a few that I thought would be good to answer.
And hi, I'm Kaitlyn. I'm the guest today, and I'm scared of the backlash.
Stay off of Reddit. Please don't send her Reddit articles, and enjoy.
And nobody get all fired up and start a war here.
Yeah.
It's just my truth, and that's it. I'm never talking about it again after this. Bye.
Welcome to Off the Vine. I'm your host, Kat Campbell, just for today, because I felt like sometimes you're not understood.
I find it very cute that you're very concerned about me being misunderstood, because we'll probably see the effects sometimes of me being upset. But it's so cute that you're like,
me.
I want people to see what I see. And I'm like, but they want to hate me if they want to hate me.
But I feel like the people here are good people. Like the people listening, the Vinos are the real ones. But honestly, if anyone that isn't a real one wants to tune in, maybe they'll have a different perception of you. And that is my hope.
Oh, that'd be nice.
So I compiled some questions to ask you, and she has not heard any of these questions.
No. In fact, I even said to you, I was like, do I want to prep? And then I was like, no, that ain't me.
That ain't me.
That ain't me.
So I'm going to kind of start with some like more serious ones, and then we're going to go into just some like silly rapid fire.
Okay. I'm just going to raw dog these answers.
Raw dog it, sis.
Whatever comes to mind, I'm not holding back. And I have no idea, because I told you there's only one thing off limit, and that's my dating life right now.
Which is
otherwise, let her buck.
And we're going to let a few things buck. So
we're going to let a few things buck.
So buckle up, bitches.
Buckle up, bitches.
Okay.
Why do I keep repeating what you're saying?
Yeah, stop.
Stop.
Okay, Kaitlyn.
Okay.
Why, this is kind of broad, but why do you think you're misunderstood? I have an answer after you.
Oh, okay. I would like to hear your opinion. I think it's because women have been taught to stay quiet and do this and be this way and not be too this, or we've all been taught to be quiet and like look good. Mm-hmm. And I feel like I came out of the womb wanting to be different, wanting to be heard. I also believe, this is a little woo-woo, but I believe that this is my last life. And I think every life that I've lived, I've gotten murdered in a past life for having a voice, protesting on the streets. I think I've always just fought for like a voice. And I think this lifetime I'm using it as like, oh, I got slut shamed on a TV show. I've always been this outspoken, say what I want, do what I want, be who I want. And I don't think people were used to seeing that on a TV show. And I don't think they're used to, especially having a bachelorette like that. Because I've said it a million times. I think they want the girl next door, the put together one. And I was not that. And I think it really shook people that I was open to talking about sex or like having tattoos or doing whatever. And I think that makes people uncomfortable because of what they've been taught. I also believe that people wish they could be a little more outspoken, a little more vulnerable, a little more edgy, say what they want and not worry about the repercussions. And so there's a tiny hint of jealousy in there.
100%.
Yeah.
I feel like that is like you hit the nail on the head. And like everybody listening or everybody that likes you or hates you is probably thinking this. If they don't have a friend like you or out in the open, that's what you giggle about behind closed doors. Like I feel like the things that you are willing to talk about in the open are things that everyone would talk about, but just like not out in the open. So I feel like for me, you keep me on my toes because we have some of the funniest, silliest times, but you to your core are the exact same out in the open, behind closed doors, but like your ability to connect and be friends with someone is like, not me getting misty. Like you are one of the most genuine people I've ever met.
Aww.
My whole family thinks it.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, that's really all that matters to me. And I get mad sometimes because I'm like, oh, I want this person to see what everybody, like my close friends see, but that they don't. And I'm not friends with them.
Right.
And I probably don't want to be for the people that don't see what you see.
Yeah, like you don't want to be a fridgy bitch that like doesn't say what you want to say. Like you're just...
Yeah, I don't want to be crotchety. That's my favorite word. I don't want to be crotchety.
What's the word I keep using you don't know? No, I do not be using that one.
I've never heard that word come out of your mouth.
Remember it was a word you're like, what does that mean? And I was like, my mom said it all the time.
Oh, puny?
Puny, like when you're feeling puny.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, that's a really...
I have more
Okay,
to add
go on.
because I also think, first of all, thank you for getting all cutesy on me.
Yeah.
Puny.
Anytime.
But I think like the people who really hate me are like the few minions that really love my exes.
Totally.
Or who really, it's either jealousy, a minion of an ex, or somebody who's mentally ill.
Or someone thinking that you should be, okay, you're 39 years old. You should be doing this. You should be doing that.
Right.
But like, are you jealous because you've been married for 20 years and you've got 12-year-old kids, but you're 40? Like,
because I also wouldn't want to be you. Like, I'm age is just a number, but if you're 65 and complaining to me about where I should be in life, I don't want to be where you're at in life. And if I'm doing it different than you, then God bless America.
well, and that's the beauty of like the ability to just be, it's a free country. You can be exactly what we want to be. Why do we hate on other people for doing that?
It's getting worse too. Like, obviously it's not just me who receives so much backlash and hate, but it does feel like I'm an easy target a lot of times.
That's what I've always said to you. I feel like you become an easy target because you speak your mind, and sometimes you will clap back and other people are like, silence speaks the loudest. But I feel like, I don't know. I'm just a defensive friend, and I feel like this is your time to let the people know. What do you think is the biggest issue for you in relationships? /
Whoa.
Is there a common denominator for why they've ended?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a 2-part. First part is, say it again.
What is the biggest issue for you in relationships?
Like within me or in a relationship?
I kind of think within you, like maybe like not to be like blame you, but like if there were things that
like
made the relationship end, was it like insecurity or was it?
Like if I was going to be self-aware right now and take some accountability?
Yes.
Okay. I would say I'm competitive. I think the competitive comes from always searching for my own voice and feeling like I finally found a place where I have my own voice. So when other people try and come into my lane, I get competitive because I'm so passionate about being one of the first to do this. And then I don't want someone taking something away from me and then feeling used instead of like heard and understood. So I think competitiveness is one. It's been different in every relationship. We all know about the one in Germany. We fucking get it. But I think that one I was just like too dependent on somebody. With Sean, I think there was so much toxic back and forth between the two of us. We met each other at our insecurities instead of calming the other one down or helping or understanding or hearing the other person. We would like meet them at their anger level. And I think we were just like two people who were very much in love, but like couldn't let go of things. I hold on to things. Okay, that's what I will say. I hold on to a lot of resentment. And instead of repairing these little rips that happen over time, it just builds and then there's no going back. So I hold on to big, massive, hairy resentment. Like it's bad.
Not hairy.
Hairy. Speaking of hairy, but I feel like I really hold on to things. If somebody gives me a feeling of betrayal, if I'm like, hey, this is the one thing I can't have in a relationship, and they go and do that later, that betrayal is really hard for me to let go of. So I feel like, what did I start with? Dependency, which I've learned, and now I'm hyper independent. Competitiveness, grudges, and resentment.
Like kind of along the lines of when you said betrayal, I feel like you sometimes assume that people are going to do that because it's happened so many times.
So I sabotage.
So you self-sabotage. And I always like to remind you, like, not everybody's out to get you, and there are good people in this world. So
I'm like, I don't believe you.
Okay, well, I'd like to prove you wrong. Okay?
I believe there's some, but yeah, I guess also trust is a big issue for me because every relationship has shown me my insecurities are validated.
Well, and we're going to get into that in a little bit with some of the people. So
great.
Not naming names, but we will be able to, if you're a real one, you know. Okay, this is like kind of a quick one, but do you have a fear of settling down?
Yes.
Would you like to back up?
Back up. There's a second part to the question that I missed.
The second part was, is there a common denominator for why they've ended?
I definitely feel, and again, I want to make this so clear, I actually can now look at Sean, and you know this, and be like, I really am happy for him. I actually want the best for him. I would like to be friends. I feel like I've like got really quiet with thoughts of anger that I used to have towards him. And now I actually have compassion instead of anger. And I've moved through a lot of emotions for him where I actually want to hug him and like be friends and say like, I know why you've shared with me why this hurt you so bad and you wanted to get me back and we were both vindictive and it was in this time in my life, but like I'm so happy for him and where he's at right now. So but the common so I want to put that out there first.
Cheers to growth.
So that's growth.
Yeah.
But at that time, I felt like he was hanging on to the relationship to open his gym. I felt used. I did not feel loved. I felt like he knew that us together was better than him on his own. I'm saying this from my standpoint. I'm not saying he actually did this. Same thing with, I still can't even say his name because I have not grown as much.
Oh.
It's not that I say his name and I'm like, I'm more like, God, here we go. Magazine's going to pick this up.
Yes.
And they're going to take a bad headline. But my last relationship, again, I felt, and he knew this, I felt very used. Although my house was paid off, I would have to go to him on the first of every month being like, can you split bills? That makes me feel cheap. We had both very similar income. It felt like he was like riding a wave. And I'm not saying he didn't love me because I think he did. Also unsure. But it felt like riding coattails, riding a wave, got to where he wanted to get to. And I think why he was so broken about the relationship was because he didn't know who he was without me. And I think he still is really working on who he is without a dog, a girlfriend, a something. And I would really encourage that person to get quiet with himself and actually find out who he is.
Well, and something interesting about that is like to the average person like me who has no like podium to stand on from any TV shows or like recognition, it's like breakups for an average Joe don't have that many like components to it. So I feel like it's interesting that you say that because like I can't ever put myself in that situation to be like, oh my God, yeah, I would be this. Like I've never been that mad over a breakup because it's been like, hey, we just weren't compatible. Whereas yours is like just
so many layers
that like most of us can't relate to.
And I can own everything I did wrong in that relationship. I definitely was trying to hold him back from podcasting because I knew it was same thing with Sean opening a gym. I was like, I know this is the nail in the coffin because our relationship is already not good. With Jay, I was like, I know that you starting a podcast is going to cross wires. It's my favorite thing that I do. You knew moving into my house, that's the one thing I was like, please don't do. He did it anyways. It was all just about his schedule, what would make him grow financially. He always said financially, professionally, and personally. And I was made to feel crazy because I was stunting his growth. But really, I knew exactly what was going to happen, which happened. He started taking email lists and these clients and this and building up his from what I've already built. And then the resentment starts. And the thing about this is no matter how much I could explain this situation, the people who love him will always hate me. The people who love me will see exactly what I see. So I'm not trying to prove anyone of this and he's a bad person. I don't think I treated him very nicely towards the end because I was so angry because of feelings of betrayal. It feels like he really lost the plot of a relationship.
Yes, I think that is totally fair. And I'm glad that you cleared that up because I don't think everybody knows that. So back to the other question is, do you have fear of settling down?
Big time.
Why?
Divorced parents, one, I think is probably... I saw my parents have a loving, happy relationship. So if that ends, why wouldn't mine kind of thing?
Yeah.
I think it's my brain goes, well, it's only a matter of time. You know me, I go worst case scenario all the time. I'm like, oh, my dogs are breathing slower. They're dying. I'm like always looking for the worst. And so I always assume somebody will fall out of love with me. Also, I've had 3 relationships where they act like we love how outspoken you are. We love how successful we are. We love how this you are. And then it becomes
a problem.
some weird thing where it's competitive on their end, but then it brings out my competitive side. And so I think I'm scared of somebody tricking me again and again, where I'm like, is this the real deal, or am I being tricked and you really just love the life I live and what I have, or do you really love who I am? And if you really love who I am, are you going to fall out of love with me in 10 years when shit gets hard? And so I just think, well, just don't settle down then, or just not. I mean, I clearly was engaged twice. I was ready to settle down. It's more of
Like, are you going to be who you've shown me?
That person who I wanted to settle down with wasn't the same person when I met them to where it was
Totally
later. And that's terrifying. You all know I'm all about that beauty that's effortless and fun, which is why I'm obsessed with the new Lash Blast Supercloud Mascara from Covergirl. This mascara super boosts your lashes with weightless length, light as air lift. Seriously, it feels like nothing is on there, but the results are everything. The air whipped formula packed with vegan collagen, vitamin B5, and amino acids keep my lashes looking long, lifted, and so soft. Plus, it's clump-free, smudge-free, flake-free, and lasts up to 24 hours. Because if my mascara can outlast my day and a glass of wine or two, like, we've got a winner. I love using it to get that fresh, kind of clean girl makeup look when I want my lashes to stand out but still feel super natural, or just for a night out, just swipe, lift, boom, bop, bing, bop, bam, super boosted. And best of all, it's vegan, cruelty-free, easy to remove, so try it for yourself and get ready for your lash glow up. Only from Easy Breezy, beautiful Covergirl. Okay, you know that feeling when you crawl into bed after a super long day and your body's ready to crash, but your mind, oh no, ready to replay every conversation, awkward or embarrassing, any moment from the past decade, been there. For me, sleep has always been important. Falling asleep, staying asleep, waking up, feeling like I actually got rest can be a struggle, and that is where Beam's Dream Powder comes in. Let me tell you, totally transformed my bedtime routine. Dream Powder is not your average bedtime drink. It's a science-backed healthy hot cocoa that actually helps you unwind and get the deep restful sleep that you've been craving. Plus, delicious, tastes like heaven. Flavors like sea salt caramel, brownie batter, vanilla chai, my personal favorite, cinnamon cocoa. It's the perfect cozy treat to end your day, and it's no sugar, 15 calories, guilt-free relaxation. Anyone with me? Say hey. I hope you did. Other sleep aids can cause, the next day grogginess, but Dream contains a powerful all-natural blend of reishi, magnesium, L-theanine, apigenin, and melatonin to help you fall asleep and stay asleep and wake up refreshed. So if you want to try Beam's best-selling Dream Powder, get up to 40% off for a limited time when you go to shopbeam.com/Vine and use code VINE at checkout. That's shopbeam.com/Vine and use code VINE for up to 40% off. Can't make this any more clear. I never once said he couldn't see the dogs. I said I'm no longer willing to co-parent the dogs. I always said to him, I will never take the dogs away from you. You can come see them on the weekends.
Just meaning you're not going to do a week on, week off for the rest of your lives.
I'm not letting the dogs bounce back and forth. Bunnies, buddies, it is in the contract that they cannot have these dogs who literally Ramen was found in a ditch with a broken hip from being abused by humans. Pino was on a meat truck on his way to being probably food. These dogs came with severe anxiety. They got so comfortable at home and to go back and forth, and they were so confused. Ramen would play dead and not want to go anywhere. Pino was like...
It was just sad. Yeah, it was sad to see.
Terrifying. Jason talked to people. I talked to people. What was best for both dogs is to stay in one home. I said I'm no longer willing to co-parent the back and forth. Never once did I say you can't see the dogs. And so then he went on a podcast and said, I'm not allowed to see the dogs. And his co-host said something like, oh, let me guess, it was around the time of your new relationship. And he went, yeah, I would have never said he couldn't see the dogs.
Has he asked to see the dogs?
No.
Okay.
And when I said I'm no longer willing to co-parent the dogs, that was 2 months after we had been gone back and forth while he was in a relationship. Maybe the public didn't know he was in a relationship, but I did. He had told me. And we were doing the co-parenting thing. And as soon as I said I'm not willing to, I'm not saying he's wrong for this because he was in a relationship. She might have been like, let it go. Yeah. Some people on the internet were like, let Kaitlyn have the dogs. But he never once tried to see them. And I just can't handle him going on a podcast saying, wasn't allowed to see them. Yep, it was around the time of the relationship. No, it wasn't. So that crossed my mind. And if we're really getting honest on this podcast, clearly I'm fired up. I had a shot of tequila before this. So
If I'm being honest.
I think it's mean and pathetic to rescue, not to rescue. Bless you for rescuing. Oh, I'm such a believer in that. But to name your dog. Am I going there?
It depends if you, like, is there any chance you'll use it?
No, not anymore.
Okay, then send it.
I'm making this clear that it's not that I'm not over him. I'm very much over him. I ended the relationship. I did not want to be in that. It felt icky to me. It felt like everything was for Instagram and numbers. I did not want to be in it. But to get a dog and name that dog my dream baby name that I've had in my baby names for 10 years, that in fact, I even have a text that says to him, huh?
You sent it to me.
I sent it to you. A text. I said the day I met him, I want to name my baby Teddy. Just to wrap that up, I know I seem very angry, but it's more like I don't like feeling disrespected. And I just have so many gross feelings from that because for so long I was made to feel crazy. And now I'm like, oh, I'm not crazy. I just saw what other people are seeing now. And it's just not aligned. What I want out of life is not what he wants, and that is what two people shouldn't be together like that. So I'm not fully angry. I'm just really grossed out and disappointed, and this will probably be the last time I will ever speak on him ever again because I didn't for so long, and that felt really good because I had let it go, and then that kind of just fired something up in me again, and I think it's okay to talk about.
How do you manage feelings of life timelines?
I'm going to be 40 in 2 months, and I feel like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Great.
Yeah.
Do you want kids?
Yes.
Cool.
I think I would even like, well, for my 40th birthday, I'm gifting myself with fibroid removal.
Great.
Nothing says 40 more than needing your fibroids removed for your geriatric pregnancy that you want to have.
You know what? People do it. Didn't freaking
many people. Janet Jackson had a baby at like 56.
I mean, yeah.
And like my plan, if all goes well, end of 40, I could be pregnant having a baby at 41, and I would be so happy.
And you have frozen eggs from when you were 32.
And I have frozen eggs, and I will be removing all the fibroids that could cause any issues, and it'll be all cleaned out in there.
Amen.
And we'll just get it going.
Yeah.
Just get some healthy sperm up in there.
And just and we know how that works.
Crank it out.
Yes. All right. So on to the next question is, do you think we'll ever find out what you and Colton were filming?
For the love of God, I wish. This is something where I'm like, how can I still not talk about it? So that was in September.
You can just say coming soon.
Coming very soon.
Okay, so let's just, coming soon.
Coming very soon. I would say hopefully announcing in the next few weeks.
Great.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about, I'm not going to use any names, but a lot of you asked this question.
Wait, may I add to that for 1 second?
Sure.
Just while this is a very honest podcast for me, and I'm like, I want to have a lot of integrity with it. I am friends with Cassie, and I know a lot of stuff went down between Colton and Cassie. And I know that I've had many conversations with him about how he feels and what he has done wrong. And he is an actual golden retriever who is so happy in life right now and was so lost at the time. And when I was getting to work with Colton, it was very important to me to reach out to Cassie and have the conversation with her. And she was very gracious and grateful. And then I got to move forward with that. I think that should be known.
I love that.
Okay, this is so relatable to me because today, do you ever feel like you're juggling a million things trying to eat healthy, but sometimes life just gets in the way? I mean, we've all been there, running from one thing to the next. Suddenly it's 3 p.m. and the only thing in your hand is a bag of chips. Been there, done that. But here's the thing. I was so grateful for this today. I found a solution that's been a total lifesaver for me, and that's Shakeology, packed with protein, fiber, probiotics, and all those good for you nutrients so that I don't have to stress about hitting my daily goals. I grab it, I mix it up, boom, done. I had a back-to-back day today, and it saved me me. I have been loving the zero sugar cookies and cream flavor. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So no added sugar, only 140 calories, and it actually keeps me full. Plus it supports digestion and gives me that healthy energy boost that I need to power through the day. I've also been sneaking it into my smoothies. Actually, I even baked with it. Super versatile. So if you're looking for a way to stay on track without making everything complicated, Shakeology has your back. It's a super simple way to make sure that you're getting all the nutrition that you need, and it actually tastes amazing. Shakeology all-in-one nutrition shakes are a great deal right now with free shipping and a free shaker cup. Plus they have even more discounts. So have to check it out on their website. Go to Shakeology.com and get 15% off with code VINE. That's Shakeology.com, code VINE for 15% off.
A lot of you asked about a certain friend breakup. And I don't think we're going to use a name, but I think if you've been listening, you'll maybe know.
Yeah.
What happened.
So much. I'll try and wrap it up in a not so sweet little box and a not so sweet little bow. But it's sad. It's really sad. It makes me sad. That person was someone that would have been in my wedding party. Again, when I feel any sense of ick, like icky, this doesn't feel right, this feels gross, it's hard for me to come back. So what I felt when my last relationship ended was that
Friend relationship.
Friend relationship. No, not that one.
Friendship.
Well, when the actual relationship ended,
Yes. Okay, yeah.
it felt as though this friend was taking it harder than I was and kind of using it for social media. And I was kind of letting it slide because I loved him so much.
Right.
And he was family at this point. And so I kind of let it go. But then there was
There were signs.
There were signs, and there was some stuff going on very much behind the back where I'm not sure this person realized that at that time, Jason and I were still on good terms and talking. And a lot of things weren't adding up, and a lot of trust was lost. And I even reached out saying, if there's the last text I sent is, if there's anything that I have done that I need to be held accountable for, that made you want to go behind my back because you were scared of me or something that I did, please let me know. I'd like to hold myself accountable. No response. Just felt like a lot of, I'm really sad about it because, like I said, like he was family, and I'm very confused as to why. I can't believe I'm talking about all this.
Well,
but I'm just confused.
Can I say the part that I started to know?
Yeah.
Because I loved him as well, but then I kind of started to see the signs. But there was one day I was taking Chandler to school, and I don't remember who it was, a friend of mine, more a friend of mine than yours, I can't remember who, was like, hey, did you see Kaitlyn went live last night? You were on the West Coast.
Yeah.
So Nashville's 2 hours behind
I know
LA.
exactly what you're talking about, yeah.
And this person went live on your Instagram, and you had taken a lorazepam. It was like a very low time. Like
I was in a dark place.
I think you and Jason had broken up, and it wasn't public.
Yeah.
This person went live, and you were like
I was not
present.
Well. No. Not only did I have a lorazepam, I forgot I had a lorazepam because I was wanting to go to sleep, and then he came and decided he was sleeping over. I totally forgot I took a lorazepam because it had been like 35 minutes and I wasn't feeling it. So we opened a bottle of wine.
But if anybody watched this, like especially as a friend, I was like sick to my stomach because I'm like, if I
was
am
not there
up on accident or like going through it and taking a lorazepam to settle down, and my friend wants to like air that out for the world to see that like I might not be okay.
Yeah.
That's not okay. It was like a very not okay live.
Well, somebody even screen recorded some of it, and people were saying,
like,
hey,
get off, hit end.
Put her to bed. Like she's clearly not okay. I was falling asleep at the table. I was slurring my words.
It was bad.
I think I even went and passed out, and he continued the live.
Yes.
And I then believe he went through my phone, and I had been having a lot of big feelings because I was feeling so betrayed. So yeah.
So I like hate for you to again bring attention to things that like have negatively impacted you, but then people just choose to speculate. And for me, I feel like I want you to say your piece because it's like, okay, that didn't just end because you were like catty. It was like, no, that was like, I remember watching that and being like, that's not okay. Like just imagine your best friend like getting just publicly kind of humiliated and like, I don't care how drunk the other person is. You know that that's not like, you have enough of a following to be like, okay, 1 million people are going to see this.
Yeah.
Or people that look up to you. Like that just doesn't need to be.
Yeah, I was humiliated and really upset. And that's also, I was like, oh God, that doesn't feel like a good friend. There's just a lot of things that added up over time. Some backstabbing, some lies, some I'll make it up to you, but didn't, betrayal. And then the last message I sent was like, please let me know if I did something wrong. And then I didn't hear anything. And so I'm pretty sad about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To switch gears a little, do you fear aging physically?
Hell to the yes. I think that's really why I went to Hoffman that week of inner child work. That was what I focused on the most. Like, why is aging so scary to me? Not in a like, obviously aging is a blessing, but physically, why do I care so much? And I've learned so much about where it stems from. And my mom had it put on her as a child, so I can't blame her. She literally was doing her best from what she had went through with my grandpa was like a stage mom. Like he wanted my mom to be perfect all the time. And I definitely grew up thinking that looks were really important. Plus I have on top of that OCD around symmetry, which I've talked about on the podcast before, but like having a symmetrical face is like so important to me. My one hip that I have that's bigger than the other because of my scoliosis, like keeps me up at night. Like aging to me, I'm like, I'll lose my jobs. Like people won't want to watch me on YouTube anymore. I won't get hosting jobs. Like look at Vanessa Lachey, gorgeous human being. But because she's aging, people are commenting on her looks all the time. Yes.
Because see, I look at her and I'm like, because this is what I tell Kaitlyn. I don't obviously want to age either. And I'm noticing it in my neck and my hands and things like that. But I'm like, okay, that kind of sucks. But then I look at people like Vanessa. I didn't know people were talking mean about her because I'm like, God, she looks good. I look at people like my mom who hasn't done anything to herself. And
she looks amazing.
She's obviously aging, but like looks so beautiful. And then with aging comes like life experience and wisdom and all these things that
I think it's also that thing of the passage of time that gives me anxiety.
It's freaky.
It scares me so much. So to see, like, I don't like, it's not even, I mean, it's me. I fear aging with looks, but it's even just seeing my parents getting older.
Your dogs.
My dogs, like it freaks me out because I'm like, I have such a hard time with loss. I think it all stems from not processing my best friend dying. I had a girl on my podcast. Remember the other day I said I was having a woman on who she studies like,
was it like birth charts and
birth charts and like if you're a generator, a manifester, a generating manifester, a projector, and she like knew from my birth chart, she said your lesson in this life is to learn to let go and be okay with letting go. And I'm like, God, you know how they say like whatever you don't work on will just keep showing up over and over. I swear that's happening into my life where it's just like, let go, Kaitlyn, let go of the perfection, and your dogs are going to get older and they aren't meant to live forever and things do happen. Like, I think that is my life lesson. So I think seen physically in age freaks me out.
And I think everyone could relate to that. It's like a physical reminder of, okay, hey, I'm not 22 forever.
Yeah. And nor would I want to be because I'm my favorite that I've ever looked right now and the best I've ever felt and the strongest I've ever been. So I'm like, then I interviewed Chelsea Handler and she's saying that's how I feel at 50. So then I'm like, great. Then why do but I mean, we all want to look and feel young. It's just, we can.
And I feel like we're at that age where like whether we're in our early 30s, mid 30s, late 40, whatever, like where we are going to start, you know, like I felt like college to like my late 20s, I kind of was the same.
Yeah.
Like immature, but then also like looked young.
Right.
And now it's like, I mean, I don't look old, but like I notice I'm starting to be like, oh, whoa, okay. So like we are aging. Like
but you've never looked better.
Thanks. I actually feel same to you.
Yeah.
I feel the best I've ever felt. And yes, I've had 2 C-sections. Not by choice. Like my body isn't the same, but I actually like it more because I'm like, okay, I'm at a place in my life where with age comes confidence. That's like, I don't know. You just like, you're more sure of who you are.
First of all, you, Bree, Shayna, and Bessie Cat, you're like my best friends in the whole world, and Ray. Mm-hmm. And I feel like, sorry to the others, you're all still my best friends. Those are like my core people. And I feel like every single one of you are all just so sturdy and like, okay, but this is life and this is how it goes. And like, you look the best you've ever looked. And who cares if this is happening? And like, you're not going to lose. Like you have so much to offer besides your looks. Like you all ground me so much. And I'm like, where would I be? You know, they say that you're the sum of the 5 people you surround yourself with. I'm like, I would be in a dumpster where that one troll told me to go. Yeah. Like, I don't know where I'd be. I probably would be botched.
But another thing about everything you just said about those girls, and Shayna's the only one I haven't personally met. I feel like I know her, but
Yeah.
like I have never had a friend in my adult. This is what's so interesting. Like you weren't even at my wedding. Like we became friends the year that I got married, but I was like embarrassed to invite you because I was like, I don't want her to feel like I'm like
And I was like, that
a
bitch.
groupie. But like now I'm
Thought
like,
we're
I
besties.
cannot believe you were not there on the day
know, I
I
can't believe
married
it.
my husband. But like every best friend of yours that I've met, I clicked with so quickly.
Immediately.
And I've never met someone in my adult, well, you're like my newest best friend addition in life.
Yeah.
That is like a soul sister
Yeah.
and a part of my family, literally.
Yes.
And they would agree.
Yeah.
Like at my dad's deathbed, like you just don't
was hugging him.
I'll never forget that moment, but it's like you don't meet friends like that later in life
Yeah.
often. And
Yeah.
all of your friends, I feel like I jive with. The pressure's on Shayna. I'm a little scared. But like it's very unique to find your friends are now my friends.
Even
And
like, you know, Penny will be like, I don't like this person and like walk away. Penny was like, love Kat. Like
sweet.
You really are exactly like that's why I knew when I met you, I was like, a real one. Like I knew you'd get along because you fit right in with the kind of friends I have, which I think I'm so lucky for the kind of friends I have.
Oh my God.
Same with your friends.
Yeah, I do.
feel the same way.
It's just you surround yourself with the kind of energy that you put out. So
And I bet none of our friends go on other people's Instagram and be like, you're petty, you're looking for attention, you look ugly. No, I don't want to be friends with you if you're like
yeah,
that.
go on.
Go on, get.
Yeah, this not your podcast.
Kick rocks.
Yeah, and the other things.
And other things.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
So the people, those who get it, get it. And I feel like there's probably a lot of people listening because I remember like before I met Kaitlyn, I was like, she would be my friend. I bought Vanity Planet makeup brushes when I didn't own makeup. I didn't own foundation. I didn't own a cream product of any kind. And I
so
bought
funny.
Vanity Planet, like a 50-piece brush set. Anyways, it's just to say,
Yeah.
you're
Now
relatable.
look at us. Now you're hosting off the vine.
Off
the
the
power
vine.
chair.
Yes, I love it here. Okay, that's kind of it for the like heavy
love
hitters.
that.
I know we dug kind of deep.
I feel very vulnerable right now, and I know I'm going to get backlash for all of this. And I know there's people that are going to be like, oh, she just opened a can of worms for me to get downloads on my podcast. But I'm done.
Let them.
That felt good, and you can do whatever you need to do.
Yeah. And then this might be slamming the door and moving on to the bigger and better things that are ahead.
Yeah. And just last thing, I had great credit score.
That's important.
I had a great credit score, okay? You moved into my house.
You put a nail in that coffin.
And here we go.
Okay. I'm going to do one question that isn't like these next ones can be like quick answers.
Okay.
But I am going to say, can you drop your skincare routine?
Really?
That is important. Yeah.
Okay.
That was a highly requested.
It's so funny because I feel like I beat a dead horse with my skincare because I'll like go on live or I'll do a thing, but then not everybody sees it. And then they're like, wait, what? Okay. My skincare is little water, a lot of wine. That is kind of my truth. But okay, first of all, I do think I have good genetics because my mom and my dad both have good skin.
Okay, but
my skincare routine is Koji pads from Indie
the
Skincare
Indie
where
Glow pads,
you work.
oh Jesus.
The Holy Grail. I literally put them on and I'm like, I have baby skin.
They're worth every penny. If you have hyperpigmentation, even like post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, like zit scars, like it is a brightener, lightener, and it makes you look like Kaitlyn Bristowe, glass glowy
I
forehead.
don't know about right now.
Well, yes.
Oh.
So, okay, Indie Glow pads.
Well, first I cleanse.
Yep.
Then Indie Glow pads. And then I use SkinCeuticals Vitamin C. I also like Indie's Vitamin C.
Yeah, I do too.
And then I use TNS Advanced Serum Double Pump.
Yep.
From Skin Medica. And then I use either Indie's moisturizer. I usually use that at nighttime. What is the one I use from Skin Medica? It's like sheer moisturizer. And then I love Elastin
Hydratint.
Hydratint.
The most gorgeous coverage
ever. I also like Color Science.
I do too.
But those two sunscreens I love because they have a little tint and they're moisturizing and it just like goes on perfectly over all the skincare.
Well, like when I looked like a bridge troll 45 minutes ago. Well, maybe 45 minutes before we got here. And I was like, oh, I have to be ready in like 30 minutes. And Hydro Tint is like my foundation. Like it is sunscreen, but it is my coverage.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Your skin's amazing too.
Well, thank you.
And then PM, I do a double cleanse.
Okay.
Micellar water.
Okay.
Not in that order. I do micellar order, then double cleanse, which you've taught me to redo, which I'm going to try tonight. I'm not wearing makeup.
Can I clear that up? It's not like you're doing something wrong, but I've watched this chick with a full face beat with cotton rounds going through 50 of them trying to wipe off her makeup. I said, why don't you try doing a cleanse and then following it up with another cleanse and then see how much comes off? Not much.
Yeah,
it's going to save you a lot of... It'll save the planet. That's what I'm here to say.
We go to Miami this weekend, so you can coach me through it because we are sharing a room, roomies for the weekend in Miami. We're going to get crazy.
Oh, but
I'm
not
so
too crazy because
excited.
I like to be in bed by 9. That's okay.
Okay, PM, I do double cleanse, take off my makeup. I do, what is the new thing? P-Tox?
PTOX.
PTOX?
I love it.
I'm obsessed with it. SkinCeuticals.
It's going to claim it replaces Botox. I don't think it does, but it is like a very good viscous texture.
Oh, it's the best. And it just...
I love it.
Glassy skin.
I love it.
And then I put on... I've been back to my 0.05 retinol.
Great.
And then I do Indie... What is this really nice
The
moisturizer?
Riche Glow, the pump.
Yes.
It's like super hydrating.
Super hydrating. And then I do the Dewy Spritz.
Dewy Spritz. It's hypochlorous acid.
I do Dewy Spritz like every hour.
Okay, so hypochlorous acid, this is not a skincare talk, but like the Dewy Spritz is amazing because it's hydrating, has copper peptides, everything. But hypochlorous like kills bacteria. It's just like to take on a plane.
Yeah.
I could spray that on my face at all times.
I will have it on the plane tomorrow. I also, Botox I find really makes my skin
I know.
glassy.
I am 35. I've been getting Botox since I was 24, and I was like 3.5 months out from my last Dysport treatment. And I just was looking in the mirror and I was like, it's not lines. It's just like crunchy, thick skin.
Yeah.
And I do really good skincare and do the treatments in the office because I work there at Indy. And I was like, I don't care what people say. I do get it. Like 80-20. Like that is going to be in my 20% of guilty pleasures that I'm not willing to give up right now.
Yeah. I feel that.
So these are going to be a little bit more quick, rapid fire random.
Okay.
Would you rather, and this is one I don't know the answer to
Oh.
for me, would you rather run into a bear or a man in the middle of nowhere and you're all alone?
Bear.
Really?
100%.
No, I'm talking like a hungry grizzly bear.
Grizzly bear. Other than is he a murderer? Is the man
Well, we
a
just
murderer?
don't know.
Oh, okay. It depends. Okay, if it was a black bear, I pick bear. If it's a grizzly hungry bear, I pick man because I've been around bears in Canada. There's bears like all over the golf course that my parents lived on, and if there's a black bear, you just act bigger and it's scared of you. A man, I'd be like, "Ah," and they'd be like, "I'm gonna rape you." I don't know. That's how my brain works.
Okay.
But if it's a grizzly bear, I feel like I carry pepper spray. So if I'd rather run into a man, and if he tries anything shady, I just kick him in the nuts, pepper spray, 911.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Kind of random, but do you have food texture issues?
No,
You have misophonia, but it doesn't matter what's in your mouth.
no, I don't. Nothing texture-wise grosses me out in food.
All right, great.
The only thing would be a banana, but doesn't stop me from eating them.
One skincare product you can't live without.
Probably the
Koji pads.
Koji pads. Yeah.
I was going to say it on
Yeah.
3, but I don't
Oh,
know.
1, 2, 3.
Indie
Koji
Glow
pads.
Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Indie Glow pads.
Okay.
What can you do?
What is the most absurd random rumor you've heard about yourself? And keep this one shallow, not like lighthearted, not like deep.
That I go right on Reddit back to people, and I don't even know how to go on Reddit threads.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird.
People think they're like, oh, it's either her or her sister. And I'm like, I actually have never, I don't know how to log on to a Reddit and write back
Funny.
or even find threads about myself. Yeah. People will
I don't
send
know
me
how to
screenshots.
search anything.
Yeah.
Okay, what is the biggest fight that you and I have ever gotten into?
Just that. It wasn't even a fight. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? When I had like the longest story to tell you about my ex, and I said I would tell you all the juicy details at dinner, and then I bailed on dinner, and you said, this is the only time I've been mad at you.
I forgot why I was mad. That's it.
Oh,
but
was
I
it-
didn't remember. And yes, you're right. You were like, I'll save it for dinner. I'm going to save it for dinner. I have a story for dinner. But I was actually so excited about dinner because I like you and I like hanging out. But it was like the one time I felt like getting out past my bedtime.
I
and
bailed.
you bailed.
Okay, there's
And
another
it wasn't
time?
a fight. I just was like annoyed. No, I just forgot what you were going to tell me at dinner.
You said
That
I'm
really
mad.
hurt my feelings.
It hurt my feelings. I'm really mad. Or when I spit wine in your face.
I laughed so hard. That happened in
You
Miami.
were just mad I didn't say sorry after.
Sorry.
You're like, are you going to apologize?
Yeah, like, you literally like just shot wine all over my face in a nice restaurant in Brickell in Miami.
and then you got me back with red wine.
And we'll probably do it again this trip. We talked about doing an edible podcast one time, like where we both eat an edible, let it kick in, and then like talk. Like I feel like I'd lose my career and my family would support me, but
No, you're funny.
it's just, oh God, if you guys could hang out with us in those times when we have edibles in legal states where edibles are legal, we have so many funny conversations.
I can't even handle it. It's like,
I just,
wait, remember the other night when we were both definitely in legal countries doing legal edibles and
In beds
you
in those
called
legal
and you were
states.
like, did you see this person's story? And I was like, what is it? And you told me and I was like, like laughing so hard. And then we were both laughing so hard that we had to go.
the best is the Marco Polo where I hit start and I was like, couldn't stop laughing. And I was like,
And you're like, oh, no.
okay. Anyways, come have an edible with us in legal states where that is legal and we will have a good time. Okay. Do you wipe front to back or back to front?
After pee-pee?
Either.
Oh, I think this is wrong. I wipe back to front when I pee, but front to back when I poop.
So are you wiping always reaching forward or coming around the back?
Like I stand up to wipe.
Okay.
When I
so you
go
come
number
around
two,
the back.
and then when I am peeing, I just go a little swipe up.
Not just a little dab dab.
You dab?
Well, I don't know. I'm just like not pulling anything forward ever.
What do? Bunch it and hold it in there and just
No, I'm just saying, like I'd probably
twiddle?
do it. Playing with it.
You just brrr.
No, I think it'd be more front to back.
How do you wipe when you pee?
I don't know. I'll let you know next time.
Okay.
But like I think always front to back. I don't ever come forward.
Okay, I'll work on that.
It's just like introducing bacteria in places you don't need it. Hot or cold coffee for life? What you choosing?
Hot. I love
Loser.
hot coffee. I want it on hot days. I want it right now. I just love a hot, cozy, hot coffee. Unless I'm hungover, then I want cold coffee.
I want iced coffee in the most Arctic of temperatures. I want, even if I'm frostbitten, to be holding my...
I wonder what that is because it is a very controversial subject. Like people either are hot or cold.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I love cold only.
it's weird.
That's all I've got.
Oh, that
honestly.
was really well. That was nice.
Is there anything else you'd like to
Clear up.
clear up?
I feel like I answered everything.
I think you did.
I'm very scared about the backlash that'll come with this. The Redditors. Why are Redditors? Why are you guys so
Get
mean?
off Reddit. I don't ever get on there. Nothing good happens.
People just send me Reddit things.
Yeah, but like those people should stop doing that.
I know.
If I ever see a tabloid or something, like the last thing I think is I'm going to text that to Kaitlyn because like it's just always out there.
Yeah, that's true.
To end on a high note, should we end this podcast with a game?
Yeah.
And it's going to be the game where we say 1, 2, 3,
Oh,
and we
yeah,
try to say the same word.
Yeah. We're usually really bad at this, but I feel like we've
Okay,
got this one.
Hold on, I need to think where we're going with this. Okay.
Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Travel.
Podcast.
I almost said podcast.
Okay. Travel podcast. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Miami.
Oh, we finally did it.
That's never happened.
Peter's like,
Got you on the table. Dance on the table like I always do.
Hey, dance on the table like we're going to in Miami. Hey. Well, now we're going to have to do another podcast when we come back from Miami
know.
with Kristen because,
That will be such a fun time.
yeah.
We're going with Kristen, Cavallari, Kaitlyn, and me, and it is going to be a great time. Good, clean fun.
Yeah, good, clean fun.
Lots of giggles, lots of good food.
And lots of rest. We're even going to work out while we're there.
Yeah.
I'm covered in dog hair.
So it's, yeah, you are.
Yeah.
I am not.
I love you.
Is that what that says?
Yeah.
Oh, backwards.
It's so if you take a picture, a selfie, it says I love you.
That's cute.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for coming
But
to
I-
my
I was saying I love
podcast.
you.
Love you.
Oh.
And thanks for letting me ask you all those hard questions.
Thank you for being the only person I'd really feel comfortable doing that with.